Hi, welcome back. In this video, we are going to talk about how you know whether to increase add or subtract the change in current assets and current liabilities for the operating cash flows section of your statement of cash flows. Remember, this is using the indirect method. Okay. If you write nothing else down this unit, please write this down. This is not always intuitive. I have to think it through still. 20 plus years, and I still have to think, do I add or subtract? And run it through in my head, kind of like how I said with the FOB shipping point and FOB destination. It just is not intuitive in my head. Maybe you're smarter than me and you can memorize this, but if you find that this isn't 100% like, oh yeah, I totally get that, just write it down. That way you have it in your notes, have it somewhere when you go to take quizzes and exams or when you're doing the homework, where you can just pull it out, follow along, easy peasy. All right, so if we have an increase in current assets, for example, say accounts receivable increases, then we are going to subtract the amount of the increase, the amount of the change from our statement of cash flows. If we have a decrease in current assets, accounts receivable decreases, then we are going to add the amount of the decrease to the statement of cash flows. If we have an increase in our current liabilities, accounts payable increases, then we are going to add that to our statement of cash flows. And if we have a decrease in current liabilities, let's say accounts receivable or accounts payable decreases, then we are going to subtract the amount of the decrease from our statement of cash flows. The reason behind that is because let's look at accounts receivable. So when we book accounts receivable, it's usually because we've sold something, right? So we're going to debit AR and credit revenue. So when you think about our net income, we've increased our net income by revenue, right? The amount of revenue, so our net income is higher. Let's say this is $30,000. So we have $30,000 sitting in net income, but if at the end of the year it's still sitting in AR, we've never collected the cash for that. Okay? So basically, by subtracting the increase in accounts receivable from our statement of cash flows, we are adjusting our accrual basis net income that says I have revenue of $30,000, and we're backing that $30,000 out because it's still sitting in AR. We never collected it. And if you want some more examples, we can talk about it in office hours or send me an email and we can talk about it. But that's basically why. But what I really want is for you to write this down, refer to it when you're doing homework, quizzes, exams in life. You can make a little laminated card and keep it in your wallet for the rest of your days, which would be super awesome. But just remember that increases in current assets are subtracted, decreases in current assets are added, increases in current liabilities are added, and decreases in current liabilities are subtracted from the operating section in the statement of cash flows. All right, that is everything you need to know before we start practicing. So I'm going to move myself inside and get on the computer, and we're going to go through a couple examples together. I've got one we're going to do together and one you get to do on your own. All right, thanks everybody, and we'll see you inside. All right, bye.